Hey, everybody. I have not seen my longtime friend since 2010. Do you realize that?
No, 20 last year.
Well, but I mean, since you've been on my blog,
Oh,
it's been, I mean, in terms of total years.
okay, right.
Yeah, yeah, 2010. And this is year 11. Anyway, so I think when you get to 10 years, you can say longtime friend. Is there a that, right? Or is it a measure of how sick you are with somebody after a certain period of time? I don't know. Some marriages last 3 years, so maybe that's it. I don't know. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Actually, I'm great. I'm blessed. I took my fourth vaccine, and you may not have seen the video I put out yet, but uh, I can walk better. Like I haven't walked in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's just a weird side effect. Anyway, the Ravens are 3-1. Uh, they're playing remarkable football. What's going on? What's the secret?
It's been an interesting season. I was not expecting them to be 3-1 at this point. But I'm happy. Well, saw the injuries from before, but I think the big thing is Lamar's playing has definitely improved, and they've become much more of a passing team, which I kind of was surprised with their running back situation, with losing running backs because of injuries, and then having to basically have all new running backs. I thought they were going to just wind up running the ball more, just because it seems to be like what they have done in the past. But um, Lamar has had a really great start to the season. And I was looking up some
I thought, I thought myself that the Ravens, the way they're playing the ball, be undefeated. They're 3-1, but I'm also not surprised that the Cincinnati Bengals are ahead of them. You know, but we'll see how long that lasts. And I'm pointing right now to the new look air attack that you alluded to here.
Mm-hmm.
And is this because they worked on Lamar to be a better passer, or is it just better wide receivers? What do you think is going on?
No, it's probably a combination of both. Um, Ironically, now as of like going into the next week for the next game, they'll have two receivers back from the IR. So they have more depth at receiver now. But like one of them's a rookie, Rashad Bateman, who excited to see him play, but I don't know like if he'll be playing on Monday night. And then Miles Boykin is also back.
Yeah, Miles Boykin. I like him. He can play. Are you happy with the running game?
Yes, for under the circumstances, I think they're doing the best that they can with what they have to work with. It's weird though, like watching and having running backs that weren't Ravens before. It's kind of like this mishmash of running backs who were on other teams, and then for whatever reason were cut or whatever happened, and then it's like we kind of just acquired like the best of the bunch that was available at the time. That's how I look at the running backs. And it's weird. I still think it's weird having Le'Veon Bell. I still, because I just can't, I'll never forget that he was a Steeler at one time. So it's always weird when Ravens have former Steelers, which they have too, because then they had Villanueva, but now he's injured, so he's not playing. It's just kind of weird.
It runs deep, folks. It sure does.
There's certain things you just can't get past.
Hey, remind us too of the injury toll that started the season that made you say, "Gee, I don't know if this is going to be a good year." How many players did we lose?
I can't remember how many were on the IR. There was at least 10,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember how. I mean, it was just, it was bleak. It seemed bleak because there was just so many. Like, and it was just really sad. Like J.K. Dobbins being out for the season, like that was a hard one. Um, so it's like, sad about him, and then felt sorry for the guy because everyone expected him to have a really good season. And then here's Gus Edwards thinking, okay, he's gonna, have most of the carries, and then he goes down. So like that's just been a hard thing with the running backs. But then on the defense, like losing Marcus Peters, that was a tough one too. And that's just on the field because I feel like he's a leader like in the locker room, just because he's a veteran player. So
I found something from CBS.
mhm.
2021 Baltimore Ravens injuries right here. So let's go through the list together, folks, shall we? I'll zoom it in and then read it off for those who might be wearing strong contact lenses like me. Melissa has the blessing of having clear eyes.
I'm actually doing this on my phone, so I can't even
Oh, okay.
see it because it's very tiny.
then,
Although
then,
I
so,
think this is what I might have looked at this page before.
then so much the better that I do it this way, right? Okay, so we'll start with it goes back as far as July 28th with defensive tackle Xavier Kelly. He had an Achilles. Then two players, Iman Marshall, the knee, and Khalil Dorsey, defensive back, undisclosed injury. How do you get that? LJ Fort then on the 24th of August, linebacker ACL, injured reserve. Then J.K. Dobbins, as Melissa mentioned, on the 30th of August, ACL, injured reserve. Then Jawan James, offensive tackle, Achilles on the 31st. Then Marcus Peters, cornerback, on December 10th, just a day after the start of the season, the NFL kickoff. Marcus Peters and Gus Edwards, both ACLs.
It was the same day.
The same, right, the same day on the 10th, right there, as you can see, folks. And then it didn't stop. 14 September, Tuesday, Tyree Phillips, offensive guard, knee, injured reserve, return, week 5. Quis Wintry, 17th, 3 days later, cornerback, meniscus, injured reserve, return, week 5. Hey, week 5 is going to be a big coming out party, per se. Nick Boyle, tight end, injured reserve, injured on the 27th of September, coming back, week 5. Dalen Hayes, injured the same day, but he's not coming back until week 7. Then on the 2nd of October, the day after my mom's 87th birthday, Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Miles Boykin, and Derek Wolfe, two wide receivers and defensive end, all on injured reserve, groin, hamstring, and back. And hey, not to be outdone, but a little less severe, Dante Slicklew, wide receiver, is questionable for week 5. Alejandro Villanueva, offensive tackle, did not practice. Jalen Ferguson, injured reserve, COVID-19. So it's getting a bit more manageable here. The 4th is more like, did not practice, questionable. And the 7th seems like we're away from the rash of really horrible injuries that sustained the Ravens. And through all of this, they're 3-1. My God. I mean, is it just Lamar or I got to ask you also, did you think the Ravens are going to beat the Broncos the way they did?
No.
Me neither.
No. I didn't see I thought that game could have gone either way. And if I had to bet on the game, I probably would have bet on the Broncos, not the Ravens. But because the Broncos were 3-0 and everyone kept hyping up their defense, really good defense. And then, yeah, just playing on the road, playing at Mile High, tough place to play. And then, yeah, that game was very unexpected, but it was nice to see them win like that.
I got to ask you about the call on the last play of the game to gain 5 yards so that the Ravens become, I believe, tied for the rushing record for a team.
Yes, now they're tied.
Right. So what did you think of Coach Fangio whining about it the way that he did?
He had a hissy fit. I just laugh every time I hear that soundbite. It's like, just get over it. And he said like earlier, like that he knows how they play. So that I think he made a comment about how like he would expect that out of them or something to that effect.
Yeah, he was really, I mean, to say that he was salty was an understatement. He was salty, right? He was really
very salty.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was like, dude, right? And okay, so folks, if you're wondering what we're talking about here, here's Vic Fangio. Basically, yeah, just he's massively upset, and what I'm doing right now, I'm going. So I'm trying to find a suitable video to show you that will show it. And Sports Illustrated is no longer trusty like they used to be. Okay, so I can't get that video, so I'm going to have to try another one. Not that one, and not that one, and let's see here. Okay, this was Sunday. Let me try something. Let me try Twitter. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that, because I thought I had this teed up and I didn't. But leave it. But Twitter is always trusty for these. Trusty. Hold on a second. Vic Fangio. There it is. Okay. All right. I believe we've got it, folks.
But I expected it from them.
I heard that. Let me go back here and then reduce the size of it slightly and then put up here and go back to where we are and beautifully hit the share button on trusty StreamYard and hit share screen, and in all his glory, here he is, Vic. All right, folks, shall we let the whining begin? Here we go.
Did you have a problem with the last play that Baltimore ran?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of bullshit, but I expected it from them. I've 37 years in pro ball. I've never seen anything like that. So, but it was to be expected, and we expected it.
Why did you expect it from them?
Because I just know how they operate. That's just their, mode of operation there. Player safety is secondary.
Is that something anybody even really talked about, that they had 42 straight or whatever the number was, 100-yard games? And
we didn't talk about it during the week, but I'm sure the players were aware of it. You guys made them well aware of it.
What did you think about the no calls or the no? Did you have a problem with the last play that Baltimore ran?
We heard that. So there you go. And I believe John Harbaugh had an interesting comeback, didn't he?
He did, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but
we have it here.
I liked his response though.
Yeah, and let's scroll down here and find that response that he provided. If we can, let's try it the other way. Let's try videos here. And here we go. I believe it's right here. Let's try that one. Okay, let's try that one.
Do you feel like you left this game with a little bit more clarity on the running back situation?
They're all the clarity is that they all can play. You know, that's probably as clear as they are right now.
That wasn't what I was looking for, folks, but that's funny enough. The clarity is they can all play.
Coach, do you feel like you left this game with a little bit more clarity on the running back situation?
Unless, like, let's see if we can find the video one that, you know. Okay, there's Fangio, right? I think CBS might have both of them. Maybe. Let's forward it. Yeah, it is. This is okay. CBS has both of them, folks. Here's the CBS version. Maybe we can enlarge this, like so. Nope, I can't. Like not do it like that because then I lose control of StreamYard. So, tell you what. Next best thing is we'll just play it.
That's just their, mode of operation there. Player safety is secondary.
Terms, we had a nice chat before the game. Known each other for a long time, but I promise you, I'm not going to give that insult 1 second thought. That's what's meaningful. What's meaningful to us might not be meaningful to them. Their concerns are definitely not our concerns. We didn't expect to get the ball back. We decided that if we got the ball back, we were going to try to get the yards, and we got it back with 3 seconds left. So,
and not only that, what he very maybe kindly, what he left out. Did you see that, by the way, or did it darken out, or could you tell?
No. Did I see?
Let me see if I can get that back. Hold on a second, because for some particular reason, it looked like it darkened out. Let me stop the screen and then try to get it back again. By here, and yeah, there it is. Okay, let's try that again. All right, we'll take it from the top with Fangio whining.
I thought it was kind of, but I expected it from them. I've 37 years in pro ball. I've never seen anything like that. So, but it was to be expected, and we expected it.
Why did you expect it from them?
Because I just know how they operate. That's just their, mode of operation there. Player safety is secondary.
Terms, we had a nice chat before the game. Known each other for a long time, but I promise you, I'm not going to give that insult 1 second thought. That's what's meaningful. What's meaningful to us might not be meaningful to them. Their concerns are definitely not our concerns.
And what cracks me up about that?
We decided that
Melissa,
if we got the ball back, we were going to try to get the yards.
What really cracks me up about that whole repartee is John was really nice because he could have turned around and said, well, we wouldn't have gotten the ball back if their quarterback hadn't have thrown an interception.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm saying, okay, well, maybe if your quarterback, I like Teddy Bridgewater. Okay, I've interviewed him.
Right.
And I always root for black quarterbacks. Okay, because they make it hard on us, but sometimes we make it hard on ourselves. But the whole point is, Teddy is a top flight quarterback who ran up against a buzzsaw of a game plan from a couple of plays that I saw. I didn't see the entire game, folks. But point is, he threw an interception in the end zone. So what would you have done, Melissa, right? Am I wrong? I mean, you're a Ravens fan, but yeah.
The funny thing is, Lamar said he didn't know anything about like this record. Like he just playing. He didn't know anything about it.
He's doing what his boss told him to do.
Yeah, he's doing his job.
What do you think the likelihood is that the Ravens see the Broncos in the playoffs?
I guess we'll see if the Broncos, if they make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then, Ravens still, I mean, the thing is, anything can happen. So I don't know. It's a possibility.
Hey, so are we back as fans from the coronavirus? How are things in Baltimore for you? Because I know that, are you afraid to go to the games? Are you going out when people go? Do they wear their masks? What does it really look like?
I haven't been to any games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So from what I understand, people are going, like, they're happy to be back. They want to be back. They miss going to games. And so I feel like it's not like people are there. I mean, we're used to this pandemic. We've been in it for a while. It's just you kind of accept it for what it is because you can't change it. And if you want to go to a game, you have to follow whatever rules are in place. Because I can't remember how the stadium is handling. I think you have to wear a mask like when you're inside the concourses, but I don't know that you have to wear it during the game, like when you're in your seat. But again, I haven't been to a game, and I just can't remember like what the rules that they put into place.
Have you've been to your local watering holes, right?
Yes.
How's that an atmosphere? You got to make a video for us one day. How's that atmosphere?
I think it's the same as it was like before the pandemic. I didn't go out at all last season. I stayed in every game.
I remember, you're right.
So
it's like to be out. I mean, you were in.
Yeah. It's nice. I have mixed feelings sometimes because there are times where I like being out with my friends and having other people to cheer with. But then there are times where I just want peace and quiet to watch the game.
Oh.
And I lose, like, I definitely lose things or I can't hear everything. I don't pay full attention when I'm out watching. Mm-hmm. So I do kind of miss being at home to watch and like to follow every play and know exactly what's going on.
Is that a function of getting older? You become like a homebody. You just don't want to go out like you used to.
I think it is
for me. I just kind of like because I haven't been out. Well, I have my mom. I'm helping here and keeping her company, and that's all I can see. Other than running my company. So I think that's where I'm at. I've fantasized about stealing away to go to a Falcons game. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, oh, hey, it's Sunday. Oh, my God, they're at home. I'm not a Falcons fan, folks, but I'm a fan of the league, and we've covered the league for a long time. So I wanted to go for that perspective, right? That standpoint. But also, as one who has had 4 shots of the vaccine, that alone should tell you what I feel about this whole situation. Scared to death.
That's understandable.
Thank you. Because can anyone tell us, can you tell me where this thing came from, this virus?
No.
See? When I think we now all agree it didn't come from bats, right? So it's like, okay, didn't come from bats. Was it, which really increases the possibility that this thing was person-made. That's my new term for man-made, person-made. Could have been man or woman, all right? I think that's appropriate. But it's all scary. So I'm happy just being inside, having an NFL Sunday ticket. Do you have you have an NFL Sunday ticket?
I do not.
Oh, it's awesome. You can watch all the games. You have this 4-screen or 5-screen or 6 screens, 3 up top, 3 depth top down, 3 down. It's pretty cool, especially when they give it to you for free.
Right.
What? I mean, who's the most improved Raven?
I don't know. I would probably say Lamar.
Yeah. Lamar, definitely.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? I mean, what is it about his game? Because you remember he had those COVID infections, and I thought, oh man, he's probably not even going to make the season. What's he doing? And my mom said, is he stupid?
Yeah, and we still don't know if he's vaccinated. They haven't said anything about that recently.
Oh.
I'm going to guess that he's not vaccinated, but I I have no control over it. I can't. I don't understand it, but
Folks, this is the sword of Damocles. It's okay. My head is Lamar Jackson. The sword of Damocles represents COVID-19. Do not let this sword drop on your head, right, Melissa?
I mean, it's crazy they had twice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. That's another show. That's a discussion on.
Yeah. I got tired of having this conversation
I
with
understand.
people about, because people would always ask, like, why isn't he vaccinated? Why? And I can't answer for him.
Well, I can, and I don't agree with it, but it's something that is within the Black community, and there are those of us who have chosen to believe that taking the vaccine would put something in you that is part of an experiment, and that person doesn't want to be experimented on. Now, here's why what I'm about to say, I think, lends credence to that, and something else too. There's a because of police brutality and George Floyd, the fear of cops, I believe, has spilled over psychologically into a fear of government on the part of us. And because this is widespread, I got into a Zoom call with people I hadn't seen in years from high school, and all Black. Now I'm just speaking candidly because that's what I do. In high school, I wasn't part of the Black Student Union. I didn't want to join because I didn't want to be pigeonholed. And that was it. Okay. I just didn't want to be pigeonholed. If I was going to be king, I wanted to be king of the whole planet, not just, I didn't want to be king of the Black planet. Not that I would be king anyway. That's arrogant, but that's me. But the whole point is, but and so what I discovered after high school was I had friends in white camps and Black camps, but I never viewed it that way. We were at the 20 building at Skyline, and it was myself, my friend to this day, I got a call, Bill Boyd, Lars Frickman, who died in 2018, too young, and of a heart attack, Mark Frame, who I haven't seen in years, Dennis Jang, who's married with kids now, and they're all grown. We were the nerds. That's what we were nerds before the nerds. I think they didn't really have a name for us. We were Star Trek. We were Star Trekkers. Some people called us Trekkies. I thought it was a pejorative. So I didn't have that common view of how people associate it racially. And so I'm just getting, and I don't agree with it, this fear. Obviously, by taking 4 vaccines, twice, January, February, and then 2 shots September, October. My mom is 87. I feel it's necessary. But what I'm finding is that there is generally a younger generation of folks who look like me who feel like it's shoved down their throat. I had one fellow at Kaiser give me a lecture. We're standing outside in the heat, and he says, "I can't wait to not have the mask on." And I said, "Oh, the virus, you very for the virus." And he said, shockingly, "Oh, you believe it exists? You believe it's real?"
Oh.
Right. Okay. I said, "Seriously?" I said, "I'll tell you what, 1987, I was in Tokyo, elderly women there wearing masks. I didn't question why. I asked why. They said it was, to keep them from the cold. I thought that's a great idea. I didn't question it as some sort of, weird thing or affront to my freedom. This has been going on in other countries for a long, long time where people wear masks to protect themselves, right? So I understand it, but I don't agree with it, okay? Because ultimately, it could mean your death. And if you're not taking care of yourself, it will mean your death. We don't know where this came from. I have a theory that this may have been part of a plot to basically destabilize the government so we get an authoritarian society. It seemed like it was going to work that way because remember at one point they were talking about suspending the elections.
Mm.
Okay, so we're at a weird time, folks. So that's, and I'm just giving you my very candid, I don't think controversial explanation. And how could it be controversial considering all the other stuff we've dealt with today, right? It's wild. So, but that's where I see us. I see the rates of vaccination on people who look like me getting better, but it's still out there as a problem. So there you go. There it is. So and is Lamar part of that? Yeah. Lamar is part of that thinking. So is Cam Newton. Was part of it. And it cost him his job.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says, it cost him his job. I don't think it was so much Mac Jones. They were prepared to go with Cam, but Cam sort of acted like the job was secondary to his own freedom. And it's not a matter of slavery or anything. Dude's getting paid a ton of money. Right? So, oh my gosh. So how do you think we'll all come out of this? And can we come back to you after it does?
Come out of the pandemic?
No. I mean, like after toward the end of the month, as we evaluate the Ravens after. Give us a prediction for this Sunday.
I don't like doing predictions. Well, the interesting thing about the Ravens season so far is they've only had one home game. So they've been on the road where it traditionally or historically, I should say, in the past, like road games used to be really tough for them. They didn't always do so well on road games, but they've had 3 road games and they're sort of 3-1. And now they're going into a stretch where they have 4 home games. Like they don't play on the road until November 11th. So it seems crazy that they will be home for essentially a month.
That's long.
That's really long.
Will they sweep?
That would be nice. But they're gonna have some tough games. Colts, then Chargers, Bengals, Vikings.
That's a stretch. They have the Colts. Okay, that's a win. Chargers. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a hard game.
Yeah, and then who else?
Bengals.
Ooh, battle.
Yeah, I mean, and division games are tough. Bengals are having a decent season, well, so far. So,
are you surprised by the Bengals and the Chargers' success?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I have to admit, I'm not as surprised with respect to the Bengals as I am the Chargers, because I didn't expect their first year head coach to come out and do as well as he's doing. Nothing against him. But Brendan Staley, the coach of the Chargers, I saw how his game plan destroyed the Raiders defense Monday night. And it's very simple, folks. They go where you're not. I mean, hey, they'll call a formation where they've got tight end, extra tackle on the right. They'll leave the other tight end, Jared Cook, on the left where the tackle would be. He's eligible, right? Guess what? They throw to him. Raiders weren't prepared for it. 15 yards, first down. Ooh. I mean, it was beautiful to watch, as much as it was agonizing to see how they just basically carved the Raiders up. Yeah, smart approach. It's going to be fun to see how they, handle the the Ravens. And but looking at how well the Ravens are doing, it seems like the Raiders' loss is in the back mirror, huh?
I mean, that game, I wasn't surprised that they lost. I kind of expected them to lose that game.
Really, I was really.
Because it just, yeah. I mean, and also that was the first game that they had like played together. Because preseason games, they really weren't playing. I mean, Lamar really didn't play. And then they had, a lot of the starters that they hadn't played. They hadn't played together. Like the offense had not really played in a real game.
And yet, didn't it seem like? Well, it seemed to me like the Raiders were literally giving the Ravens chances to win. You know, it was like, okay, here's another chance. Oh, here's another chance. Here's another. I was like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Well,
But they just couldn't get it together in that game.
well, folks,
That was a tough loss. I mean, it was a good game, but it was a tough loss.
yeah, I don't think I bothered texting you. Yeah, I did early on. You didn't respond back. I thought I'm gonna leave her alone.
I can't remember. I don't always text during games, especially like when it's a big game. And like for me, that was a big game. Just it's the first game and Monday night.
Yeah, it was the kickoff. It was a kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is 10:25, folks, and I'm going to let my friend get ready for bed. Hey, Melissa, stick around in the background. I'm going to hold you to your prognostications, and we'll see you later in the month. And, folks, we will be back tomorrow. And the Rams are playing right now, the Seahawks rousing game. Check out Oakland News Now, and I have a series of interviews with the mayor. Subscribe to Zenny62, bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com, and that ends this broadcast. Stick around in the background there as we do so. Thank you.